So you want to learn how to price your graphic designs? Let's go ahead and talk about that. Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Frostify and I am a graphic designer from the United States. I have been designing for about 4 to 5 years and I have had the opportunity to work with many different awesome companies and people in the industry. I mainly specialize in gaming and content. However, I have dabbled in loads of graphic design fields. So recently I was asked this question in my Discord server and it basically explained how, a lot of designers are lost in how to price their graphic design work nowadays. And I completely remember being there when I first started out. It was a pain. And I completely remember, going through, what should I charge $20? Should I charge $10? Should I charge $2,000? Should I charge $200? It definitely is a hefty process. So today I thought I would make this video and break down 5 different tips that have helped me find my prices for my designs and other things of that nature. If you guys enjoy graphic design videos or simply want to see more graphic design content, go ahead and like and subscribe. There's going to be loads of videos like this coming in the future, especially since this is the first episode of the Frostify Design Academy, which is going to be absolutely awesome going down the line. And if you guys don't know, the Frostify Design Academy is a tutorial series that I'm doing on my channel right now. But without further ado, that's enough rambling. Let's go ahead and get into the tips that have helped me price my work. So in order to really get an understanding of how much you should charge with your work, you need to understand what your client is paying for. When a client approaches you and says, hey, I really want a YouTube banner or a Twitter header or an advertisement or a marketing campaign, they are not just paying for your mere ability to create said graphic. They are paying for your time. They are paying for your resources. They are paying for your energy. They are even paying for your brain and your knowledge. These are all things that graphic designers carry and all things that people should understand when a client approaches them. Think of it like this. I know this isn't exactly the same thing, but when you approach a clothing company online and you order, say, a hoodie or a piece of apparel, you pay the shipping price and then they ship it to you. You putting money into that product is not just you putting money into, say, just the piece of clothing. You're also paying for the shipping, you're also paying for the taxes and even customs and duties if you're out of the country. This is similar to how graphic design works, except you want to look at it like this. When a graphic designer comes and pays you for something, they're not only paying for the graphic itself listed as a product, but they are also paying for the service, the brains, the time, and the effort. That is very important to keep in mind when someone comes to commission you for a piece of artwork. Always keep in mind that you are not just creating the graphic, you are putting forth your time, your energy, your knowledge, and all sorts of stuff like that. Coming into the second tip, it is going to be to assess your value. Now, what exactly do I mean by this? I mean to step back and assess everything that you can bring to the table for your client. For example, is the project a project that requires motion design, and do you have that motion design ability? Are you somebody who's going to go into the project with just graphic design hands? When somebody comes to you for a big project or a design project for that matter, and they are very familiar with you and they want you to be the face of the branding or the marketing campaign and stuff like that, chances are they will not care about the pricing because they want you in general, meaning that people will study you and watch your work and get to know you better based off of what you put out into the world, networking wise and art wise. That's why it's important to ask yourself what you can bring to the table for the client that is asking you for work. Do you have the ability to make it move? Do you have the ability to animate it? Do you have the ability to vectorize assets within the design? Do you have the ability to have good composition, have good layout, have good rhythm, have good contrast? There's not any right or wrong answer, but it definitely helps with assessing what you can bring to the table for clients. I know myself personally, if a client approaches me and wants a static stream package, something that doesn't want to be animated, I will charge less than I would if they wanted it animated. And that is simply because that extra set of expertise in my arsenal of creative abilities charges more and brings on more to my actual value, if that makes sense. Coming in at tip number 3, it is going to be to pay on a project basis. I see a lot of people in the community that have these price sheets that are all set and custom made for your prices. And while this could be a help, it doesn't exactly help your ability to make profitable income. Let me give you an example. Let's just say I make a price chart and I charge $20 for a header, $500 for an animated stream package, and stuff like that. That means every time a client comes to me and asks me for these said items, I must charge $500, which is very unrealistic if you're a graphic designer, because at the end of the day, things can change at any moment. I mean, I know me personally, the animated stream package consists of minimalistic animated stuff. But this client may want me to do a bunch of 3D stuff, a bunch of intricate animated stuff that isn't exactly worth 500. It might be worth more. That is a piece of advice I can give you guys. If you have pre-made price lists, take them down and reconsider. Because in my personal opinion, it's better to charge per project based off of what the client's needs are rather than having one set price for every single type of design. Because overall, you don't want to be stuck making a massive project for a lower rate than you personally would accept. Coming in at tip number 4, it is going to be to not charge hourly. I know there's a lot of graphic designers that want to calculate their pay based on hourly income. As a graphic designer, things come up and you do not want to lock yourself in a contract or a freelance situation that you must meet the expectations. I don't doubt that anybody cannot meet deadlines, but it is always nice to have a little bit of wiggle room or fluff room, if you will. The reason why this is so important is because things happen in life. Sometimes there's emergencies. Sometimes you can't get an order out. Sometimes you have a client that nags you so much that it's time to cut it off. And when it comes down to that instance, you need to be able to step back and feel confident in the fact that you cannot complete the order. And I know you guys are probably thinking, why on earth would I want to feel confident about stepping back and not taking the order? At the end of the day, everybody's goal has money involved with it somehow, but as a creative, you need to have the ability to take your punches and your obstacles and take them with pride. But back to why you shouldn't charge hourly, this is exactly why. If you charge hourly, say you go to a client and you say, I'm going to charge $25 an hour for 7 days of work. Assuming that's an 8-hour day, you will have $200 a day. And then for 7 days, you will give them a final quote of $1,400. But the big problem with this is now you must complete that project in a 7-day time limit, because by then you would have signed a contract or you would have made a verbal agreement that all the work must be created and done by the 7th day. As graphic designers, we are also human too, and you need to be able to have yourself that leeway to back out of a deal if you need to. And so although not charging hourly is my personal preference, I advise you guys to charge more on a project to project basis like mentioned in the last tip, where you can have free range with your prices, and not only that, have the ability to have control over your commission times and other things like that. Coming in at tip number 5, it is going to be to understand the time frame and the process. Pricing is not easy in graphic design. Everybody starts somewhere. I need you guys to slowly look at yourselves and just pat yourself on the back for getting this far in the creative journey, because that in itself is absolutely amazing. But I also want you to understand that prices do rise over time. Creatives go through hardcore obstacles all the time, whether or not it's getting chargebacks or dealing with clients that aren't as respectful, but they also take wins as well. But the whole point here is understanding that raising and overall setting your pricing on your work can take time. Let me tell you guys about how I started. I started on a really crappy laptop way back in the day. It was super stressful and I was just kind of like, damn, like, is this ever gonna be a full-time thing? Back in the day, I charged about $20 a header, which was super low back then, for me at least. But now, as I went more into the full-time space and met more people and gained more experience and networked more, I got the confidence to raise my prices. Overall, the prices that you set your designs are what you think you value yourself at. And that is absolutely okay. Do not let anybody in the DMs tell you that your work is not valuable enough, or they shouldn't pay this because it's trash, or any negative stuff, just throw out the window. Because at the end of the day, this is something you do have control over, and I just want you to pat yourself on the back for even considering and taking this more serious. But in terms of the process, as I networked more and met more people, I was able to comfortably raise my prices, and now I charge almost triple, if not 5 times more than the base price. Everything comes with time. I just want to say that if you guys have any questions about pricing and stuff, feel free to message me on Twitter. I am always available. I know that pricing could be a very tricky subject because it requires self-evaluation, and I think we can all agree as creatives that self-evaluating is very difficult in the space. Being able to take a step back and really value our work for what it is tricky, because us as graphic designers' job is to bring other visions to life. It's extremely hard to bring our own to life. But without further ado, that is going to be the first episode of the Frostify Design Academy. I want to thank you guys so much for sticking to the end of the video and learning more about how to price your work. Like I mentioned before, if you want to reach out for any questions, go ahead and reach out to me on Twitter or ask the question down below in the comments. I will 100% reply to everybody, because that is what it's all about. I want to welcome you guys to the Frostify Design Academy series, by the way. It's going to be a fantastic series that teaches pretty much everything that I know about graphic design, and I hope to see you guys there for the whole thing. There's going to be many videos like this talking about networking, how to create certain designs, how to even learn Photoshop. But I knew that pricing was going to be one of the first videos that I wanted to tackle, since it's such a sensitive subject amongst new designers. Just remember to not be scared and to always keep creating, inspiring, and influencing. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Frostify. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next Friday with a brand new video. Peace.